Are you looking for tips on how to stay clutter-free and organized? If so, today's video is for you. Hello, welcome back to Clutter Fairy, where I help you get clutter-free so that you can live stress-free. I am going to be sharing some of my favorite tips and suggestions that I use with my own clients on how to stay on top of clutter, stay organized, and keep stress at bay. So one of the first things I do when I meet with a new client is walk around their home and find out which areas are really stress points, which areas are causing them the most anxiety, and which areas are just not working. These are the places that we start with first to develop a different system. So here's an example. In my house, if I get home and there's dishes in the sink, our kitchen is too small. So I have to do the dishes before I can even start making dinner, which, number one, puts me in a bad mood. It stresses me out because the kids are hungry, I'm hungry, I want to get dinner done and over with so that we can go on to homework or whatever else we have planned for the evening. So that one variance will totally change the course of our evening. So for me, a stressor is dishes in the sink. So I make sure that dishes are washed all of the time. And in my household, it's a huge penalty because one dish will turn into a whole sink full. So I know that's a stressor. My kids know that's a stressor. We actually have a severe penalty of a $5 off of their allowance fee if they leave a dish in the sink, which means that's half of their allowance. So take a walk and find out which areas are stressors for you, and then see if you can develop a different plan. For example, a lot of people spend time looking for their keys in the morning. If the keys are always in the same place, a hook, a drawer, then you don't have to spend time or anxiety looking for your keys. So if you have any questions about that, send me an email. I will absolutely give some tips or suggestions on how to better handle that. A second thing that works for a lot of people is using planners. Now, there are so many available online. Take some time and do a search. I found one online that has some pretty nice ones. It's fabandfree.com. They have menu planners, they have chore calendars, they have just where's my family type calendars. But find some things that work specifically for your family. Find an aesthetic that works for you. Oftentimes, if you find a planner that's pretty, you're going to be more inclined to use it. So check them out. If you don't see anything you like, honestly, you guys, there are so many planners available online. The third thing, and I know you're sick of me saying this, but truly having a home for everything and being in the habit of putting them back is always going to keep things under control. It makes sure that you don't have clutter lying around because the items you have a specific home, and if there's a specific home, it's easier to put away. I cannot stress enough how important it is to have a home for everything. And again, it's not just so that it looks pretty, it's for after you use it, it's not a question of where it goes. It's not moving things out of the way to make room for it. It has a designated space. So this is a really big one. And I'm going to be doing a video in the next couple weeks about creating dividers out of foam core. It's super inexpensive, but I want to show you some ways where you can make custom spaces for things so that you don't have to have that clutter lying around. But if you can start designating specific areas, this is going to save you so much time, and it's going to take away that clutter. So I mentioned the habit of putting things away. This is my next tip, and that is create new habits. So I've always learned it takes 21 days to create a new habit, and I created this little cheat sheet for you that is in the download before. It's also on my website. There's no charge for it, but as I'm giving you these tips, find one that you like, fill it out, and this is going to help you maintain and develop that new habit. After a while, you won't even think about it anymore because it's ingrained in you. You know, it's like you wake up and you get coffee, or you wake up and you get tea, or you brush your teeth. Creating a new habit is just retraining yourself. So find one of the tips that you like and pick one and stick with it for the 21 days. During that time, you can tweak it so that it works really well for you, but after that 21 days is over, you can start a new one. If you try and integrate too many tips at one time, it's overwhelming and it's inconsistent and you'll get frustrated with it. So I really do suggest only picking 1, 2 at the most to integrate into your new lifestyle, because you're also going to be bringing your family into these new habits as well, and I want to make it simple. So now that you have the idea of how to create a new habit, I'm going to give you some of my favorite habits to choose from. And the first one that is my favorite that I start my day with: make your bed. I love this saying. It's so true. Making your bed right when you get out of it starts you off on the right foot, because it's already an accomplishment. And once your bed is made, your room looks completely different. It looks neat, it looks orderly, which kind of puts you in that mindset of having the rest of the day flow in that same direction. It's kind of the same concept of the sink. One dish in there is an invitation for other dirty dishes, but a clean sink, nobody wants to be the one that leaves that first dish in there, so it sets that expectation for following through. So make your bed. So this one seems rude, but like Nike says, just do it. A lot of times the anticipation of doing something is the worst. Nobody likes to do chores, but sometimes you just need to go, okay, I'm just going to tackle this. And this is where the timer comes in to be such a helpful tool, because when you're dreading a task, setting that timer gives you permission to only have to focus on it for a little bit, and then you can be done. Today is a perfect example for me of just doing it. I set out my day for recording this video, for going grocery shopping, for doing my bulk cooking for the day, and at 9 o'clock this morning, my car broke down. It was a whole day of getting my car fixed and having people transport me back and forth, and by the time I got home, I only had an hour between getting home and going and getting the first kid from school. And I don't look like this every day. My hair is usually up in a bun. There is zero makeup, because when I'm working with clients, I'm in the garage, I'm sweating, I'm dirty. So it was one of those dreaded, I don't want to go put on my makeup and hair. But I knew, and this was a stressor that I had to identify, I knew if I didn't do the video today, I am busy every day this week, which would mean that I didn't get to record a video until next week. And you guys, I'm trying so hard to be consistent with providing content to you. So I had to just get in there, get the makeup on, do the hair, and come do the video. And sometimes it really is a helpful tip to just do it. So I tried, my battery died, I gave up, I left, I came back, and right now is my 15 minutes to see how much I can record for you. It does help a lot of times to just see what you can do. And then if you can't, you have the satisfaction of knowing that you tried. And literally, I think that is such a huge thing to give yourself credit for, because a lot of times we beat ourselves up. But if I don't get to record this tonight, I tried, I did my best. I don't have to think, man, I should have. So just do it. I think this is helpful when it comes to the clutter portion of this video, and that is keep a donate bag or box somewhere nearby. I think the closet is really helpful, because that seems to be the thing that gets donated most often, are the clothes that we don't need anymore, the clothes that we don't wear anymore, the clothes that are worn, might have a stain, don't fit. So if it's a usable item, throw it in that donate bag or box, and as soon as it's full, get it out of the house. Before I lead into my next tip, one of the things I meant to say early on is it's really important to know when your peak performance time is, or when the best time of your day is. So I wake up early. I can't even help it. My internal clock is 5 o'clock, bing, bing, and I don't wake up like, oh, let me lay here for a while. I wake up like, oh my gosh, where's my coffee? I need to do this. I should go on the computer. I wake up going. So for me, my best time to do things is in the morning. Before I get the kids to school, I am usually up for about 3 hours already, and you'd be amazed at how much I get done. I do this also, though, because I know my tendencies once I get home, that's it. I've got enough in me to get dinner done, a little time with the kids with homework, maybe a show with them or a game, but I'm done. There is nothing else that could be accomplished in the day for me. My peak performance time is definitely mornings. So I get really frustrated if I have not gotten something accomplished that I could have in the morning, and that's a key word there, that I could have in the morning, and I'm on a deadline and I have to push through and get it done at night. So that kind of ties back into the stressors. I know my peak performance is in the morning, so I have to prioritize the things that I can get done in the morning to do it. That being said, before I go to bed, this leads into my next tip, I make a sweep every day for the things that are out of place. And this is just to keep clutter at bay. So if we've all been out in the front room playing a game, it's up to everybody to remove shoes and socks and blankets and pillows that are out of place. And if they had a snack, everybody has to chip in real quick. And I know for some of you that's going to be hard because you're the primary person to take care of the house. But if it's at all possible to rally the troops to help, otherwise just corralling all of those things gives you a fresh start the next day. So this is the one thing, no matter what your peak performance is, if you could take 5 minutes before bed, even if it's just getting the dishes into the kitchen, if you have a lot of them, means that you're walking into a cleared room in the morning. So make a sweep, put away as much as you can in that 5 minutes, and staying on top of it on a daily basis like this helps to keep all of that clutter at bay. A trick that I use in my own home and I suggest for other clients, I have a holding bin. Some people call it a command center and they have a lot of other things there. I found for me a command center, even though they're cute, I see them and I get inspired to make one. It's not a functional use for me, but look at them online and see if a command center would fit your family's needs. One of the things I have found works for me is just a bin. I have one small, shallow, pretty wooden box that I keep. It's very unobtrusive. You don't even notice that it's really there. But every day when I have things that come in that I need to act on, pay, put into my calendar, I stick it in that one box. It's one thing. And then 1 or 2 times a week as I'm going from the house into my garage office, I just take the box with me. And then I can go through and sort out the things that need to be filed, and I'll just drop it in my file box. Or things that need to be paid, and I'll put it in my I need to pay this. Or I just pay it on the spot. It really depends on how much time I have. If it's an event coming up, I can add it to my calendar. But the important thing about having one spot in your house to put it is, let's say something comes up and I'm like, oh my gosh, wait a minute, I paid that bill. Why is there a call on it? I can go to the box. I know right where it is, even though I haven't addressed it yet. I know where it is. Because my office is in the garage and I go back and forth from the house to the garage, sometimes I'll take tools into the house, or my glue gun into the house. And maybe it's late at night now and I've done my sweep to make sure my house is clean. I don't want to go outside and open up the garage to put it away, so I put it in the box, my holding box. And the nice thing with that is if in the next morning I need the glue gun again or I need the hammer, I know where it's at. I don't have to go looking for it. It's in its holding place until I can put it away. This is my favorite thing to stay on top of clutter, and it's my favorite tool for knowing without a question where my things are until they get into their permanent home. So one of the last tips I have is just a quick place to keep passwords. I swear there isn't a single app or computer program out there now that doesn't require a password. And some of them want 3 capital letters and 4 characters. Some of them want numbers mixed in, and I used to cheat and just have 1 or 2 passwords that I used, but these days you can't even do that. I do not trust those software apps that will keep track of your passwords for you. A little bit of a conspiracy theorist there, but I don't trust those. So I keep a small address book, and I keep every password that I have under the program's name. I keep it in pencil. If there are frequent ones that I really, really need, I keep it on just a note inside of my phone. But this way, when I am trying to update a program and I forget the password, I don't have to wait and have them reset the password and send it to me. I can just open up my address book and I can see what it is. About every 6 to 9 months, I'll go ahead and update my passwords. I write them all in pencil in my address book so I could just erase it and update it. The reason this is a big deal for me is just the silliest example. The other day I was trying to update something in my website, and for some reason it wouldn't sync with Google. So I went to sign into Google. Well, the Google password I had apparently was changed, and I don't remember what it was, and I didn't write it down. So I had to reset that one. Well, in resetting that one, it needed me to verify an email. It turned into a 40-minute thing just because of one stupid password. So if something like this happens to you, keep a little address book, write down your passwords, keep it near your computer. It's easy, and you won't have to go searching for passwords anymore. So hopefully some of these tips worked for you. Now, these are for everyday, just normal living. I am going to be doing a separate video for those of you who are suffering from chronic pain or depression, because trust me, I know myself, this is a whole different ball game when you're dealing with an illness that prevents you from staying on top of things. So I want to do a whole different video for you guys for that one, because the tips are very, very different. So please like this video. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. It really helps me. My channel is growing, and I'm hoping someday that I can kind of make this more of a full-time thing, and your support in subscribing is really helping me to accomplish that dream. Also, by subscribing, YouTube will notify you anytime I do put up a new video, and I'm going to start using the polls more often. I'm still trying to figure out how that works, to ask what content you're interested in the coming month. Along that line, we announced the mug winner, which was Wana Pitts, and yay Wana. I had sent a message about 2 weeks ago, and I haven't heard back from her yet. Wana, if you're out there, please message me at callclutterfairy@gmail.com. I want to get this mug sent out to you, but if I don't hear from her, I'm going to go ahead and pull a new winner. But I have another giveaway, which is this Call Clutter Fairy tote bag. So if you are interested in the tote bag, please leave me a comment that you would like to be a winner, and I'll be pulling a person at random again before the end of the month, which, gosh, is right around the corner. So thank you so much, you guys. I so appreciate everything that you do, and I will see you next week. Bye.